A very good afternoon. Welcome to TVC 247. My name is Kans and this is On the Ground show with me. And today we are discussing matters politics. Today we are looking at the by-election which happened recently, that is on 27th of this month. And we want to know if it will be having an effect on the incoming 2027 election. Today I'm with Powell Ogutu once again, our student analyst, and we will be discussing this. Here, stay tuned. Do well to subscribe, like, and comment. Welcome.
Thank you for the introduction. Actually, the introduction is at top notch.
This is TVC 247 once again. We are very humbled to have you back.
I'm grateful to be back. I'm nice to meet you. I'm very grateful.
Okay, it's been a week and last week we discussed a lot. Today we want to look at the recent one, that is the by-election.
Yes.
What is your view? What is the general comment that you can pose on the by-election?
Okay, succinctly, briefly I can just say that everything was good. On 27th of this month, by-election was done and everything was good and everything was sedulous, according to me.
Okay, in certain polling stations, we witnessed violence, like for the one that happened in, I think, in Malindi. Yeah, we witnessed violence and all those happen at night.
Okay, several conflicts or chaos occurred even during the campaigns. I went to see how Gachaga was going to campaign for his DCP candidate for Narok town.
Okay.
But I was surprised because the moment he arrived in Narok town, he was attacked and he was not in a position of actually campaigning for his candidate. So that was the chaos I actually saw myself, and there are other chaos that I heard in the news that they are there, also in Kasipul and other areas.
Okay, talking about Gachagua coming to Narok. We discussed that last week. I just want to know, okay, you said that his coming was most political. Do you think he achieved whatever he came to do?
Okay, the chaos was very, very intense, and I went there. The moment he stood to address the congregants, he was not in a position of talking because some people came and interfered with the congregation, and then there were bullets and tear gassed. People were tear gassed, and then we ran. So I don't know up to there whether people resumed back so that I can address them. Okay,
so back to by-election.
Yes.
How do you see the turn up for you?
Okay, the by-election has sparked a lot of debate countrywide. Most of the people talking about that it was not done in a very good way, but some people are also saying that the government is doing the right thing because they have won in everything. But according to me, everything was right, okay? Because whenever you are approaching an election, the opposition and the government needs to plan themselves. So if you never plan yourself, you cannot claim that they misbehave with the voters or the votes. Yeah.
Okay. Looking at the youth turn up, the Gen Z turn up now.
Okay, the matters pertaining Gen Zs, you know, going to register, it is just a microscopic task. To go to register and to vote is a microscopic task. And as you say, the debates it is sparking a lot of debates in most of the interviews because the Gen Z's turnout was not that good as it was expected because they are the people who have got that ability of changing the government, but they were not in a position of voting in those by-election. And if we project it, the same thing can happen in 2027, you know. And if they were asked, they were saying that their enemy was not in the ballot, but they were supposed to show it in this by-election so that we can have hope in the coming general election in 2027. So Gen Z turnout in this by-election was actually below the sea level.
Okay, do you think it's gonna affect the coming 2027 election, and at what extent?
Okay, it is going to affect the general election because their ambition, they will not fulfill their dream. That's the truth, because their dream is to have a government which is which can provide employment to them, but government can only be changed through voting. That is the legal means in which you can change the government. Yeah, not protest. So I think it is going to affect them if they repeat the same mistake they did in this by-election. Right.
Now let's talk about the results of these by-elections. According to you, were they fair?
Okay, the results were fair. The fact, what I know that anytime you get information from people who dislikes me, automatically you will dislike me. Opposition must always have complaints. Even during the time when Raila Amolo Odinga was the head of the opposition, we were claiming that, and we were actually suggesting that there are some amendments that were supposed to be done in the IBC sector, and then the government refused. And the same people who refused to do the necessary during Raila's time, they are the same people crying today that the election was rigged. But based on my knowledge and my ability, I'm very sure that nothing was rigged. The only difference, and what our opposition leaders need to understand, is that opinion polls or online platform opinion polls about the vote should not lure them, should not cheat them that they are that popular. Ground works best, and nowadays it has actually manifested itself that the Gen Zs who are active on comment section and on TikTok and all in these online platforms, they did not turn out to vote. What does it mean? We need to go back to the ground.
Okay. On other polling station, people woke up as early as 5 to come and vote for their respective leaders. Now, okay, the turn up, though we can say the turn up was not that good, but do you think it was affected anyhow economically?
You know, we cannot say first that turnout was not that much, okay, because the people who are giving us the statistics of turnout are the same people who are against the government,
and the same people were not going to vote.
And actually we saw in several clips, people were on the line, people were given enough chance to vote. Yeah, so there's no way you can accuse the government or you can accuse the IBC.
No, we are not accusing. We are not accusing anybody.
But the fact that you're saying that there was low voter turnout,
I've
only to
said-
Gen Z, but to the rest,
I've said,
people were given
do you
enough time.
think the fact that they did not turn up, the Gen Z, was affected by anything to do with the economic? I'm not anywhere on the government.
That is not a matter to bargain. Gen Zs never turned out to vote. That's the truth. The only people I saw on the line were the millennials and all, our parents. You know, yeah.
But though there were some who turned out to vote.
But it is 2%.
Okay,
If-
now
if
I'm
they
talking
turned
about
out.
the 2%.
The 2%. Why didn't they vote for the preferred candidate? Because if they were to vote for the preferred candidate, because most of them are claiming that they don't like the government, which is true, and then they were advised that eat money, then vote for so and so. Then money cannot buy mind. What happened again? They went and voted for their preferred candidate. Most of the preferred candidate matches with the government. Yeah.
Do you think by any chance the by-election was showing a support to the government?
By election showing the support to the government, it is true, because it was like, it appears like the government wants to test the ground.
Okay.
And actually it has manifested itself that everything is okay with the government because they have won most of the seats. Yeah. By the way, if you look at, let us take for instance Malava by-election. Malava by-election was okay. The voter turnout was 46 point something, and then something like Mbere North was something like 50% turnout. Yeah.
Okay, now how was it an effect for the opposition?
It has affected opposition in several ways, by the way. It has actually led to they have withered their own hope, you know, because they were claiming that they were very, very popular in those areas where those people who stood there to vie for those positions were the agents, but they fail to achieve what they wanted. So actually it has irritated their hope.
Okay, we saw new, like, do you think new emerging politicians have a chance in, according to what have happened in the by-election, do you think they have a chance to stand in 2027?
We label them as future leaders.
Yeah.
And most of them are the Gen Zs. They must change their mindset, because last time I checked, a change in mind is required to produce a change in outcome. And it is actually now, you can see in the by-election, Gen Zs believe on their fellow Gen Zs. And what if their fellow Gen Zs let them down? They will cry. So we must go. Despite of looking age bracket, we need just to go on the ground and look for our parents, for the millennials, and for the Gen Zs, fellow Gen Zs. Because if we rely on Gen Zs alone, we might cry at the end of the general election. Yeah.
So how do you expect them to change? You have talked about change.
Okay, to the Gen Zs, going to register for votes and...
but how do you know that they have not? They are not registered voters.
They have not registered by
this was just a by-election.
Shows, but there are Gen Zs in those places. They did not turn out. The only thing they can do is to cause chaos and protest.
But that does not mean they will not do it in 2027.
But this was a reflect of what is going to happen in 2027. Yeah. It was like we are testing, mic testing of what is going to happen in 2027.
You know,
and actually they've shown what
Gen
they are
Zs are people that we cannot discuss about and say that they have one stand. These are people that can do unbelievable things within a moment. So let's just say that it's not yet, we cannot just decide that.
If you say that they can actually carry out unbelievable tasks, what does it mean? They can't do anything. I believe in it. They can't do anything. I'm a Gen Z, I know. The only thing we can do best is to protest. And if we want to cut that protest so that we will not protest in future, after 2027, we can change it through voting, through going to the ballot, which is the legal means. But protesting, marching on the streets,
you see, whatever you're saying, it sounds like a discouragement to a future incoming political
a discouragement.
Politician.
So it sounds as enlightenment. I'm trying to enlighten them that if they fail, if they repeat the same mistake they did, let me take for instance Mbere, because that was the hot spot for this by-election. Mbere North. The agency is there. If they registered for to vote, what happened then? Because we never saw them on the line. They were just there causing chaos, and actually taking clips. And I saw them, they were taking clips as the votes were being counted. They counted from first one to the last one, and the UDA candidate emerged the winner. So is that the best thing they will do in 2027 to ensure that this government gets out of power? Because governments has also very superb people. Governments has also is Gen Zs. Gen Z is just a name. It is a bygone era, by the way. It's just a relic.
We are also soon welcoming alphas.
So we are actually, it is just something that is going. So the government has got its own Gen Zs. The opposition has got its own Gen Zs, and other leaders, they have got their own Gen Zs. So you cannot say that all Gen Zs does not want the government. And not all,
I cannot say that, and I've not said that. We were talking about someone who wants to be in the political figure that is in 2027, and whatever you were saying, to me it sounds like you are trying to try to discourage them, because this is it. They want to be there.
Is it that
they need
reality?
voters.
Is it that reality sounds as discouragement?
But Okay.
That's the reality. For you to be a future leader, you must have some skills. You must you must have mobilization skills. You must have the political acumen. If you cannot mobilize your own people, whom you are thinking that you are together in a mind bracket, you are reasoning together as Gen Z. If these people you cannot combine them or you cannot mobilize them so that you enlighten them, you give them civic education, that for us to get into power, we need to do 1, 2, or 3. If you cannot do that, there's nowhere we are going.
But it comes a time where the people you've mobilized can sometimes stand, because you don't trust a human being 100%. You found snitches in between 10 people. Some of them might be with you but against you.
That's the nature of politics, and we are aware of that. But you need to do your best. We need not to assume. We need not to assume that in a group of 20 or 15 people may be my people, but 5 people may be like they're just alluring me and cheating me. No. We just do our best. We work with those people, all of them. All people cannot love you.
Okay, do you think there was a shift regionally compared to the last election?
A shift regionally, very true. Compared to the last general election.
Yeah.
By election, we are comparing it to the 2022 general election.
Yeah.
So the shift as in which way?
Okay, do you think that the general election, people considered, the reason for by-election is as people considered that some votes were blah blah blah. Now, do you think that the people who are now elected and the people who wanted to be elected and claimed that this and this happened, do you think they're gonna bring a change? Like, do you think there is that shift now?
Okay, you know, in Africa, once somebody has failed, you cannot have something to say. We always have excuses, you know. So I've seen you saying that the election was rigged, but it is untrue. Nothing was rigged there, because after the winners were announced, after the winners were declared that they are the
which election are you talking about? The by-election?
Let us talk about the by-election
or the general
or the general election.
The by-election,
after someone has been declared the winner, people always celebrate, yeah? Meaning that they have got their supporters. So what is rigging there?
Okay, I'm trying to say, do you think that, let me use the word change, there will be now change now that the by-election has happened? That is the question.
Okay, a change is always there. A change, if you want a change, meaning that there are some problems that occurred previously.
Yeah.
So
that is what I'm trying to
tell me the problems that you saw or you experienced in the by-election. According to me, there was nothing wrong, you know.
I'm comparing it to the previously elected and claimed that the vote was
rigged. That's the nature of opposition. I've been in opposition for a very long time, and that's what we used to say. Nothing can happen, nothing can change. So let us accept what the IBC has declared is what it will.
Okay, I think you are getting me wrong, and you have been getting me wrong for a while. I'm not talking about the by-election like in general. I'm trying to talk about, there was election before by-election, right?
The general election.
The general election, 2022. Yeah. Now I'm talking about the leaders who were elected in 2022. I'm focusing on 2022.
Yeah.
And the leaders who were elected in the by-election. Do you think there is going to be that shift? Do you think there is going to be that change? Not that the by-election is rigged or blah blah.
Okay. Are you trying to say that a change as in the position, other people will occupy their position of those previous leaders?
Yes.
Okay, any leader who fails to deliver will automatically go home. Any leader, whether you were elected in 2022 or in this by-election. And by the way, my leader, my member of parliament, Mark Nyamita, always says that in his campaigns, because I think nowadays he's going to vie for governorship, gubernatorial in Migori County. Always says that if you fail to deliver, home, you are going home, because leadership is not all about title, it is about service to the people. So I'm very sure that even those MPs, the president and all those positions, those people who secured those positions in 2022 general election, if they don't do the needful, they will be voted out. Yeah.
And do you think that, okay, what strategy do you think our politicians should use to win the incoming 2027 election?
Okay, the strategies that they need to install at least to win the next election, actually they need to listen to the youth, because youth are the majority. They need to do the needful, involve youth in decision making and in issues that may bring progress to the country. And then they need to limit the level of corruption and all those. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about women. You've talked about they should listen to youths. Yes. Okay, we have also women, women in the economy, women in the society, and most of this time we see that we both focus on youths, and we forget that these women normally they turn up when it comes to voting and political things. They are like the largest compared to the others. Okay, so we focus mainly on youths. What about the women?
The women, but women are also youths.
Okay, the youths are ladies. Those are ladies.
Those are the ladies.
Let's not confuse a lady and a woman.
Okay, a youth is somebody who is unmarried. Let us take that for instance, unmarried, right? Because a lady who is married is a woman. So in that case, most of the leaders nowadays are millennials, right? And the women you are talking about are also millennials. So we want to talk about ladies or the millennial women?
I'm talking about the women. Okay, women. As of my knowledge, my statistics, I've discovered that women turn out to vote more than men.
That's very true.
More than gents.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
Now I want us to, in that truthness, I want us to talk about these women, the hardship, the neglect, the defense. How effective did the government use the state machineries in the by-election compared to the opposition?
Okay. Oh, let me provide that answer without stammering, shivering, or actually without fear of contradiction. Actually, the government used state machinery in an effective way through mobilization or deploying the security in those areas where election was going to happen. This is very concrete, and it is very it is a nice thing, because most of the time in Kenya, whenever there's an election, chances of chaos to erupt is high. So they deployed security in excess, actually, to impede the chances of people protesting or causing chaos with the IBC. That may alter with the voting counting votes. Yeah.
Can you compare it to the opposition's
opposition? Opposition has not they don't have that power of deploying the
securities and
the police or the military. They don't have the power, but they can use other means, like putting on their strategies to ensure that there's credibility and transparency in the process of voting. Okay. Yeah.
Now, this strategy the president used, compare in this by-election, we realized that Nyanza is a stronghold of ODM, and same to Kilifi. So you find that in Nyanza they nominated a ODM
members.
Alafu in Kilifi also they nominated ODM member. Alafu in Malava and Mbeere North, they elected the UDA. So as we see this, I think this was just a strategy of looking at where people hold the stronghold, which party, in which community, in which sub-county, like that. Now this strategy led them to winning. And according to the president, he never wanted to compete in the broad-based government. So do you think this is gonna influence the coming 2027 election?
Yeah, it is going to impact actually positively the 2027 coming election. And first, you know, the government, the president himself. Let us talk about the government, not the president, because the president himself never participated in the by-election.
I was just quoting whatever he said.
He said actually when he was going to launch the Mau Ruroni Summit, he stood and said that he's congratulating the broad-based candidates who won. That is the Kasipu candidate, the Ugunja candidate, the Malava, the Mbere North, and that of Magarini. Yeah, it is going to actually impact the political system and reshape it in a way that there will be unity. They will sit down and say that in this place, let us actually we will propose a leader of which party, whether ODM or UDA. So there will be no that leadership wrangles, you know. So they will vote as a bloc. Yeah.
Okay, now using the strategy, the opposition lost. What do you think is the next step for them after failing?
Okay, human being is always is that person who falls, and then we don't sleep at the point we fail. We always rise up. So I know they have got the best ideas. They have seen the challenges they have faced, all the failures actually they came across, and then they need to tighten those areas. Yeah, but most of the opposition, all those people who are against the government, they need to check on the ground. Let them not just rely on online commentators about the politics. Yeah. Because you might be cheated. So they need to decide on which strategy they can use actually to win the coming election. But if they don't do it, then let us get familiarized with the current regime. They will rule until further notice.
Okay, why do you think they are still quiet ever since the election was
because
done?
the candidates who won, they won clean. Yeah, they have kept quiet, and I think in this process, when you fail, you need not to come out and start speaking anyhowly. They are strategizing
But
everything.
We expected something like that.
Actually, to come out and talk, and they are talking via Twitter. They are tweeting there and everything they are saying there. But by election itself is what brought most of them to the ground. Yeah. So they cannot actually visit these places if they don't have some concrete things they are coming to do in these places. Yeah. But I think all shall be well with them if they strategize on their ideas.
So they need to work on their strategies.
Yeah, they need just to work because that person, the government is ahead of them. So they need just to actually cope and follow.
I thank you very much to you first and to our viewers for staying tuned until this moment and following the discussion one-on-one. If there is any question that we have not tackled and you wish it could have been tackled, we'll leave it at the comment section. Do well to subscribe, like, share, and this is TVC 247. Maybe say something as we finish.
Okay, I can just say this to my fellow citizens, the patriotic citizens. You know, the founder of Dubai, Sheikh Rashid, was once asked in an interview the future of his city, and the response he gave was actually disgusting, bemusing, because he said that his grandfather rode a camel and his father rode a camel. He drives a Mercedes-Benz. His son drives a Mercedes-Benz. His grandson will drive a Land Rover. And then he was asked, what does it mean? He said that strong people create easy time. Easy time creates weak people. So in Kenya, we need just to conform to that idea of Sheikh Rashid. We need to be strong always, and we need to work on our ideologies as patriotic citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. My name is Kans, and let's meet again on our next episode on The Ground Show.
Okay, and again, before we adjourn, I'm a great student and a very keen student of Raila Amolo Odinga for a very long period of time. And for this period, I want just to take this moment and sing his farewell song. His farewell song sung by the Jamaican Belafonte.
Round the Bay of Mexico, where the sun shone daily on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship. When I reached Jamaica, I made a stop, but I'm sad to say I'm on my way. One big day. for many a days. My heart is down, I've been standing around. I don't know anyone to get in Kingston town.